Okay, so I know many people are fans of this channel, and there are many people that ultimately hate this channel. But one time, my babysitter hated this channel, and let's just say she ended up deleting it. This story does go really insane, but before we get into that, make sure you guys slap that like button, and also make sure to subscribe, because when you do, I am able to tell more crazy stories just like this one. And other than that, let's just jump straight into today's crazy story. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to a really embarrassing video. So today's story all takes place back when I was in grade 9. Now, if you guys don't know, I've been making videos for a very long time. I think this channel was made around 2015. So I've been making videos since like 14 years old. And I remember when I was 14, one of my dreams was becoming a content creator. So I remember there would be days where I would just be at home and recording my gameplay and doing Call of Duty cut commentary and basically just talking about life and school and basically all the things I hated about it. There are many videos privated on this channel about that, but obviously I'm not going to show them because I do end up saying names of people. And I'm not gonna lie, one of the reasons why I did it was because, well, I don't know, I guess talking smack on the internet was really common. So that's kind of what I would do over the internet when I did Call of Duty cut comms back then. And me, like I said earlier, I was only like 14 years old. So me, I would always like, you know, go to my friends and stuff, and they all knew that I was a YouTuber, or trying to be a YouTuber at least, and that it was my dream. But obviously, once I told my friends, other people in my high school started hearing that I was a YouTuber. And there was one girl that I used to talk smack about on my channel that, let's just say, ended up hating my YouTube videos. She hated that I was a YouTuber, or trying to be a YouTuber. And every time I talked about YouTube with my friends, she would always jump into the conversation saying, Bubba, you don't know anything about YouTube. YouTube's a place of being friendly and awesome and kind to each other. Honestly, I would hate to know what she thinks about the channel now, but going on with the story. And she kept basically telling me how I need to be more motivative than, you know, destructive on the YouTube channel. And me, I ended up laughing at her, saying that, you know, internet hate will always be a thing, and it will always, you know, get worse and worse. And she just kept being in denial about it. And I remember me and her, let's just say we never ended up getting along. But what ends up happening next in the story made me end up getting stuck with her to the point where it sucked. Because I remember that same day when I went home from school, I ended up walking up to my parents and I saw that they were packing. I wasn't sure why they were packing, but apparently there was an emergency that they had to deal with and had to go stay with a relative of mine. I remember I looked at both of them and said, wait, so do you guys want me to come? They both said no, and that they, you know, they didn't want me to, like, you know, get in the way of anything. So they ended up telling me how they were going to hire me a babysitter. Now, like I said, I've had many babysitters, and some of them were good moments, and some of them, well, they just weren't it. And I remember the same day, I ended up going in my room. It was a Friday. I was playing Call of Duty. I was doing my own thing, and I ended up hearing a knock on the door. My parents go and answer it, and I heard the most irritating sound that I hated with a passion. And it was the girl that hated my YouTube channel in high school. I remember she ends up coming into my house, and basically she claims that she was a babysitter and wanted to know who she was babysitting. And when my parents said my name, I remember I ended up coming down the stairs, and she looked at me with her eyes wide open and started laughing, saying, I know Bubba, he goes to my school, we're in the same class. Oh my goodness, you need a babysitter? I remember at that moment I was so embarrassed. I'm like, listen, like, all you gotta do is just watch over me. It's nothing crazy. It's like us hanging out basically. And she ended up laughing and texting her friends about this, and honestly, it was just really weird. And as my parents left, I'm not gonna lie to you, things just kept getting worse and worse, because I was basically stuck in the house with a hater of my YouTube channel. I didn't know what to do, and I was kind of just like looking around thinking, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in my room, she's gonna watch the TV downstairs in the living room, and neither of us will bother each other. At least that's what I thought. Because I remember when I went upstairs and started playing games, and I remember when I was in my room the whole time, I got really bored. So what I would do usually is record a YouTube video. So that's what I did. I was recording a video about how, like, you know, school sucks, and how, like, you know, some people suck at my school, basically ranting, because that was mostly what I recorded back then when I was in high school. And I remember my babysitter ended up walking into the room saying, are you kidding me? You're recording a video? Bubba, you're not a YouTuber. You're just a loser. And basically she ended up grabbing my laptop that I was recording with, and she ended up grabbing it and running downstairs with it. I remember I got super upset, and I started chasing her down the stairs, and I basically started chasing her all around my house just to get my laptop that I was recording with. She ended up throwing it on the kitchen table. Luckily, nothing bad happened to it, but still, I was really annoyed because she ruined my entire video. So I ended up taking my laptop upstairs and shutting my door and slamming it. And let's just say what she ended up doing next made me cry into tears, because I remember later on that night, it was super late, and I was just, you know, doing my own thing, and I was, you know, getting ready for bed. And as I was laying in bed, I remember I ended up passing out, kind of sleeping, but not fully sleeping. And I ended up hearing someone go into my room, take something, and leave. Now, I didn't know who it was, and I was really just like confused. So I ended up basically getting up in the middle of the night, like 20 minutes later, and I started heading downstairs to see what was going on. When I went downstairs to see what was going on, I remember I saw my babysitter with my laptop. I was so confused, and I looked at her saying, yo, what are you doing with my laptop? Like, what? And then she ended up saying, Baba, I just deleted your YouTube channel because let's be real here, you're not meant to be on YouTube. I remember at that moment, I got so angry, and I ended up yelling, are you kidding me? Who do you think you are? And I ended up running up to her, pushing her out of the way, like literally body checking her as if I was playing like football. And I grabbed my laptop, ran upstairs, and I just stayed on that thing, trying to get YouTube support to help me out and basically try to figure out how I can get my channel back. Obviously, at the time, the channel only had like 100 subscribers. It was nothing crazy. It was nothing big. I think only my relatives, my mom, and probably some friends at school only subscribed to the channel. But the channel meant a lot to me. And I knew one day I wanted to be a YouTuber. So I ended up going through my channel. I ended up going through everything I could, going through emails, contacting YouTube support, trying to find any way to get my channel back. Luckily, I ended up finding someone that was able to get the channel revived and get the channel back from being deleted. And when I got it back, I was really happy. You guys have no idea how happy I was. And honestly, if I never did get the channel back, this channel wouldn't exist because it was this exact channel that ended up reviving. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's crazy story. Make sure you guys press that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like I always say, follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.